portrait. I always carry it with me wherever I travel as kind of a memento, amazing resemblance to great Aunt Eugenie. Goodness, I've drunk so much my back teeth are floating. I do feel a crushing headache coming on, however. I believe you mentioned something about imported chocolates. Chocolate is very good for headaches, if I remember correctly.
Go on, Sarah. Give her the chocolates. I certainly wouldn't want to have your headache on my conscience, too.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Lawson.
If I were you, Theodora, I wouldn't stand for it another minute.
But I love him.
Oh, what is love without a ring on your finger? Either he proposes or you get rid of him.
Get rid of him?
Yes. Find someone else.
Maybe he just needs more time.
Time? God created the world in 7 days. Pat Fruin had 20 years, and he's still just thinking about you. Theodora, the writing's on the wall, and it's time you packed your hope chest.
Excuse me, ladies.
You dropped your embroidery.
Oh, Sarah, what good is embroidery? I might as well burn my hope chest. Pat Fruin will never marry me.
You can't give up.
Well, that's just it. I never have given up. Ever since I first met that man 20 years ago, I knew he was the only man for me. I've been very patient. The only thing I worry about is that everybody else is right. And he really is a lost cause.
No, Theodora. He's only a lost cause when you stop trying.
Trying? Oh, Sarah, I've tried everything under the sun. What do you think, Sarah? What would you do?
Well, it really isn't any of my business.
Oh, then.
I've got to get going. I'm a guest for dinner, but I'll think about it.
You will?
I promise I'll try and think of something.
Oh, bless you, Sarah. You are not like the others. I really would appreciate any little suggestions, however silly they may seem. Well, bye.
Bye, Miss Dixon.
Congratulations, Pat. Thanks, Arvo.
Mr. Fruin, hello. What are you doing way out here?
Oh, I'm just out for a stroll over to the White Sands Inn, just kind of looking around. What are you doing here?
I'm going to pay a visit to my cousin, Miss Plumtree, the famous actress.
Oh, Jim Blumberry's your cousin? Oh, don't that beat all?
I've been thinking about you, Mr. Fruin.
You have?
I know all about your problem.
You do?
I have a feeling you're confused about a certain lovely lady.
I got her on the brain, something awful. It's making me real nervous.
You know what I think, Mr. Fruin? You're worrying too much. You should follow your heart and court the lady.
Court her? I couldn't do that.
Why not?
She never had that.
You're very wrong, Mr. Fruin. She's in love with you.
She's in love with me. How could she be?
She's deeply in love with you. She has been for 20 years. She even remembers the first time she laid eyes on you. She confided in me. It was love at first sight.
I don't mind telling you. I also find her mighty attractive.
That's all fine and good, but she just assumes that you're not interested in her.
That's all wrong. I don't know what to do. I mean, where do I start?
Perhaps I can help you. Aunt Hetty has a book of etiquette at home, and there's a chapter on courting. I'll bring it over as soon as possible.
You're positive about this?
Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Fruin. Well, I mustn't keep Miss Plumtree waiting. I'll see you later, Mr. Fruin.
In the arts for many generations, darling. And this, dear child, is Great Aunt Eugenie.
It is? But she doesn't look the least bit like me.
Outwardly. Oh, no. Inwardly.
Inwardly?
The spirit, the fire, the charm. You have it all. I see it in your eyes. Did you know that Great Aunt Eugenie was the world's most renowned expert on dyeing?
Dying?
Oh, yes. Actresses would come from all over the globe to learn how to dye from Aunt Eugenie. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance, to dream. Aye, there's the rub.
Pigeon, are you all right?
I'm fine, dear child. That was an Aunt Eugenie death scene. Now you try it. Now, dear heart, you must project.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them.
Excellent, darling. Go on, go on.
To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub.
Now that was a death scene. Aunt Eugenie would be terribly proud.
Pigeon, I'll never be as talented as you are.
You have inherited her magic, her cloak of greatness.
Me?
Fate has brought us together. Perhaps in my humble way, I may be able to pass the legacy on to you. I am a great believer in fate.
You've cried? Well, you have everything. What have you got to cry about?
Plenty. Parts I didn't get, children I didn't have, men I didn't marry.
Were you ever in love?
Only once that mattered. I was very young. He was very dashing. I turned him down because I wanted the stage more than I wanted him. I lived to regret it.
Great Aunt Eugenie's spirit was in the room with us. She is passing her legacy on to me. She performed great death scenes, you know. She just made it seem all so real. I could just hang on every syllable.
Hogwash. 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 Whatever you're rummaging for, Sarah, stop it. I don't want a mess in here. Now, the ladies from the Improvement Society are coming over.
I thought we had a book of etiquette somewhere around here. I thought I could remember seeing it around here someplace.
Oh, yes, that. No, Felicity made off with it ages ago.
I suppose I'll just have to go and ask her for it then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet the pigeon never had to learn etiquette. She just strikes me as the type who was born perfect.
Oh, nobody's a perfect child. Here, calm yourself a bit and have some nice tea. Hmm?
Now, darling, I know the tea is marvelous for the kidneys, but I simply must rush off to see Felicity.
Sarah Stanley, I'll have you know, young ladies do not discuss their kidneys.
Goodbye, dear heart.
Public.
Theodora's going to thank us for this. Mr. Fruin. Mr. Fruin, are you there? Mr. Fruin. that book on etiquette that I told you about.
Sarah. Hello there, Felicity. But, the whole thing.
Mr.
I kind of... I feel like I hardly know the woman.
You must stand firm. This book has everything you could ever possibly want to know about. There's a chapter in here on compliments. It's supposed to whisper sweet nothings into your lady friend's ear.
What's a sweet nothing?
Right here. Dearest.
Kann doch keinen Schaden mehr bekommen.
Hey Leute! Oh, wie geht's denn so?
Cody, was haben die mit dir?
Tja, gehört alles zu meinem neuen Job, Alter. Die haben mich rasiert und mir diese vielen Drähte in die Birne gesteckt. Und darüber werden alle 15 Sekunden wunderbare 1000 Volt aus diesem kleinen Ding direkt in mein Oberstübchen eingespeist. Oh, da kommen sie gerade. Und die bezahlen mir noch was dafür. Das ist ein ziemlich leicht verdientes Geld, hä? $5 pro Stunde.
Papa sagt, wo es lang geht und alle machen, was sie wollen. Patrick Duffy in Eine starke Familie. Das nächste Mal heute um 18:30 Uhr. Jetzt geht's weiter mit der Prinz von Bel-Air.
Was du willst, hä? Du willst mich spielen sehen?
I guess if she's Pigeon Plumtree's cousin, she must know more than I do.
And so, ladies, I am proud to say we have accomplished a great deal in the last year toward the beautification of our village and its surrounds. We've painted the school and replaced 4 of the old windows of the library.
Things are moving in the right direction.
Oh, Sarah, I hope so.
Sarah, please, sit down and don't interrupt.
We still have an eyesore to deal with. Perhaps as a treasurer, Theodora, you'd elaborate.
As you know, ever since Thomas Bickle's barn burned to the ground, he has not lifted a baby finger to remove the charcoal remains, let alone rebuild. I am afraid that we will have to take matters into our own hands. Unfortunately, even though we've already had a bake sale and a rummage sale, we are still short of funds. Does anyone have ideas as to how we could raise more money? Yes, Sarah?
Maybe Miss Plumtree could give a recitation. Everyone would pay to hear her, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too sure of that, Sarah.
What a wonderful idea, Sarah. It's a natural opportunity for an organization like ours to take advantage of. Ladies, let's put it to a vote. Everyone in favor of asking Pigeon Plumtree to recite, raise your hands. At it? Passed.
I would be thrilled to recite for your little, what's it? Improvement Society.
Well, it's a very good cause, Pigeon. Mr. Bickle's barn burned down. It's right at the crossroads of Carmen. Well, the town needs it restored desperately.
Really? I don't believe I've ever performed for a barn burning before.
It's a barn raising.
Well, you tell your little Avonlea ladies that I will recite. Provided, of course, my darling Sarah recites along with me.
Pigeon, what shall I say? I'd be honored to.
Good. All the more reasons to begin your acting lessons at once. You must come here every day after school.
Absolutely not.
Very good, huh?
Ти се така, али ли не сакаш да ти тежи? Че се разболиш и че умриш. Сакаш да ти тежи къста? Аха. Че кроя. Да му кажам? Да го куртулам?
Хајде, хајде.
Сакаш да ти кажам да те куртулам?
Да не му тече крвпуќ, а?
Е, вака, слушай.
Ајде, кажи му. Грео тај човекот да оти да јабана.
Ама ќе му кажем ако сака. Лели сакаш, бе?
Ајде, кажи, бе.
Вака.
Што е баш во торбата?
Off she went. Every way the wind blew. Now, Hetty. And before I know it, poof, you'll be gone too, just like your mother.
Hvala mu na Gospoda. Уште не сме почнали да јадеме супа од мојне хербариумски растенија како другите. Фала му на Бога. Рамнотежа. Но едно зрно песок, едно влакно да претежне на едната страна и...
Darling, I'm on my way then.
I wrote the little miss my love letter, but I'm feeling, well, a bit awkward. You know, about actually mailing it.
Mr. Fruin, you can't hold on to that letter forever. Just... Oh, Mr. Wilson, we have a letter. Thank you. Now that we've mailed that letter, we can't just stop there. No, Mr. Fruin,